Let me scoot up. Okay, so hey Christian, how are you? I haven't talked to you in so long. Huh? Oh, I haven't been live in so long. How I do this? How I share? How I share this? I don't even know how to do that. Is this? Oh, okay. But I don't see how I can do it to a group. I'm good, just living and working as usual. I know that's right. Booked and busy. Hi, Pete. Hey, sister. Thank you. Hi, everybody tuning in. This is, Candid Talks with Toni Bryce. I'm not rebooting, I'm just bringing the show back. Shout out to Johnny for inspiring me to do so, because the last episode I did, it was, is there a space for Black women of trans experience, or Black people who are trans, period, within Greek life, Black Greek life specifically. So that was the first episode. My guest was my good friend Denisha. Oh, hey, Brian. Hey, y'all. Denisha, she was my first guest on my first episode. And then after that, I hadn't done another show because I was doing another show called Trans Table Talk. And I'm no longer doing that show. So I'm like, I might as well reboot my own show. I'm going to inbox you about a great idea I can see you doing with me this weekend. Okay, Messiah, let me know. So we're going to get started, y'all. I just wanted to invite or share it to groups and prepare for the live, because we have some things to talk about. I know, there have been some posts and some lives made, and all of that is wonderful. And it's been about 2 months full of things when, Toni has been public enemy number 1. And that's okay. It happens to the best of us. But I'm just going to share my experience and some things that I've been going through with this scene. And that's what we're going to do, because I feel like if I don't speak my piece on the situation, it's going to continue to live within my head, and I'm going to continue to go over it and over it and over it again. And I don't want to be in that space no more. I just want to put it out there, and I want to move on with my life, period. Because I got things to do and things that I am doing, period. Wait, what I miss? Brian, you wouldn't have a clue, girl. This is some ballroom stuff, child. You wouldn't have a clue, girl. It's some ballroom stuff. It is some ballroom stuff. Okay, y'all. So this is Candid Talks with Toni Bryce. And this is episode 2. And I named it Surviving the Atlanta Kiki Scene, the Toni Bryce story. There's obviously a play on words when it's, we all talking about, I'm ready to tell my story. I'm ready to tell my story. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play into that, and I'm going to name this episode after that. Splashy True Life Surviving the Kiki Scene, period. My God. Hey, Cam. Okay, well, I'm listening. Okay. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to dig into it. So before we get into it all the way, I'm just going to give a little bit of history about a couple of things. So the Atlanta Kiki Scene was founded was rebirthed back in 2017. It was initially brought the Kiki scene was initially brought to Atlanta in like '09 to 2011 by icon Andre Mizrahi. And back then, per Andre, it was something that he had noticed. Like he noticed the scene happening in New York, and he wanted to bring that energy here to Atlanta. And he wanted, just for us to, or for them at the time to have that experience. So Andre had the House of Bubblegum. Selvin had the House of Raisinets. Fred Chanel had the House of Oh Shits. Poochie and Pink Lady were here at the time as well. And so that was just during a time. And a lot of people that y'all know that walk mainstream balls specifically are, period, predominantly now. They were a part of the scene back then. But that scene back then, it was just something that they were doing to have fun, to bring some new energy to Atlanta. It wasn't structured the way we have the scene now, to where now you can, get awards, you can win of the years, you're throwing ball, like multiple people are throwing balls, it's not just one, right? There goes Splashy. Splashy was a Raisinette. So that's just a little bit of history when it comes to Atlanta, because I know a lot of people feel like in 2017 that's when the Kiki scene first got here in Atlanta, and it was the reboot, and is what we know, it's what we created to be what it is now, but it was here before. You can even go on YouTube, and there's a couple of clips where you'll see Naima, you will see Naima Mugler, you'll see Ken Demir Versailles, and a couple more people, Tars, rest in peace, Tars. So it's a couple people that you'll see in those clips if you go on YouTube. So that is some history about Atlanta. Like I said earlier, so another thing is, because I want to do these little updates before I get too into it and I forget. I no longer work with NASEM Incorporated, which is a non-for-profit organization here in Atlanta. I was a volunteer of NASEM, contrary to popularly, since 2017, all the way up until 2020, which is where I started working there as an official employee. And then after that year and a couple months, I decided to leave and, just do focus on my own acting career, which is going amazing. I wish I can tell y'all what's going on, but I can't. You sign papers and things and you can't say anything. But I'm no longer an employee with NASEM. However, if you have any questions regarding NASEM, you can always hit me up and I will definitely direct you to the right people, because although I am no longer there, I have house members that work there as well, and other people that are connected to me that still work with the organization. So please know I am no longer employed with NASEM. That was only a year and 2 months. The rest was all volunteer. So every event, every program that I ever brought to you was on my own free will, on my heart to do for the community. And that was not via, oh, that's my job, I get paid to do this, just FYI. With that, Trans Table Talk, which is a social media talk show that I created for our community, I'm no longer the host of that show. However, I don't know what will happen. Maybe they'll have somebody else host the show. I have no idea, but that's why I'm also bringing back my own show, which is Candid Talks with Toni Bryce, which is something I started during. It kind of fell off. And then two, when it comes to Genie Lounge, I created Genie Lounge with NASEM November 8th, 2020, November 8th, 2020. So we're coming up on our year now. However, I'm no longer the facilitator of those Genie Lounges. However, people within my house like Nasty, TJ, Pink Puss O Navy, a Johnny Pink Lady, those are people that you will continue to see in those spaces and that will be facilitating those classes. So still send out your kids to Genie Lounge. I might not be there, but it's for everybody, whether you have whether you're in a house or whether you're not. Go to Genie Lounge, period. Get your practice in. I just want to shout out my founder. Hey, Alex. Hey, Jayla. Hey, everybody. Hey, Kev. Told you if you're in Canada. Okay. Don't take this down. I can go back. Okay, Clint, I won't. I definitely won't be taking this down. Hey, True. So let's get into it. Also my birthday ball. So originally my birthday ball was going to be on Saturday, October 23rd, because that is literally my birthday. Scorpio, Mother Scorpio, first day. However, I guess that's wedding season here in Atlanta, so it's been very hard to get a venue, because initially when I planned this ball, after everything that happened, I canceled it. I said, I'm not doing nothing else. Period, is canceled. But then people within the community was like, no, Toni, do your ball. We want you to do your ball. Okay. So I went ahead and re-announced that the ball is coming back like a couple weeks ago. And so I never booked my venue. And so on that Saturday, like, people are booked to the max. people are booked to the max. I was like, I'm just going to have to put it on the 22nd. My birthday is on the 23rd. We'll bring it in at 12 o'clock. It's okay. So my birthday ball is now on October 22nd. Oh, hi, Genovia. Hi, Icon. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'll be updating my event page tonight and putting my visuals out again with the right date so everybody can know. So let's go ahead and get started because I don't want to hold y'all too long. But so again, this episode is called Surviving the Atlanta Kiki Scene, the Toni Bryce story. And then also I want to start off with a quote from the icon. I want to start off with a quote from the icon Snooki Juicy, period. And that quote is, if y'all seen on his Facebook, he said, "Some of y'all loyalty change when y'all mad." So let's start there. So I have been a part of this scene since the very beginning. I have been one of the only women in this scene since the very beginning that started back then, that is still here to this day. When we first started the scene, we built an executive board. I served as the vice president. That was the first executive board, so I was the first and only vice president, because after that first year, we never went back to executive board positions. After that, the scene, because of my leadership abilities and because of what I added to the scene made me chair. I never said, "Oh, I'm Toni and I'm going to be chair." No, they made me chair because they seen my leadership abilities. They seen what I've done for the scene. They seen what I've contributed to the scene. So they made me chair. So we'll put that out there. Hey, Lucius. And I've been chair ever since that first year. So from 17 to 18 was the board. After that, we went into no more boards. We'll just do the alliance. So then we have the Atlanta Kiki Scene Alliance. And so that was something we built from the board to now the alliance. And I became the chairwoman of the alliance all the way up until July of 2021, which is when I decided to resign. So let's be very clear, right? When it comes to this thing, let's just lay out some things first. I have put on over 15 balls for this thing. I have created programs, The Herd, Genie Lounge, Trans Table Talk. I have put on educational events, Atlanta Kiki Scene History events with Chazzy and Indira, Kiki Scene at Large event with Icon Darrell, and also it's supposed to be with Icon Little Mama Juicy. However, something happened with her flight, so she couldn't make the event. I have been a person within my own community that has been a prep model for Stop HIV ATL for the human services and health and human services. I've served as a prep model for that campaign. I have been on a many panels talking about Black trans liberation, talking about Black Lives Matter, talking about all that we need to do for the community to be better, to our community as Black people, and specifically to Black people and Black women of trans experience. And I'm sure I'm blanking on a lot of different things. However, I've even thrown a ball in another state, in my home state and home city, St. Louis, Missouri. Missouri. It was really East St. Louis, Missouri, or Illinois, but St. Louis nonetheless. Something nobody in our scene that started and came from Atlanta has done so far. I'm just putting that out there. So I have been somebody that has been giving back, that has been contributing since the beginning. And what I'm not about to do is I'm not about to keep going over this time and time again. Oh, Toni has done this. Toni has done that. Toni has done this. I'm not about to keep doing that because we already know. I have a host of awards behind this camera that is sitting right here, whether it's an appreciation award, whether it's an activist of the year award, whether it's a proclamation for the Toni Bryce Award for community advancement and social equality, that my pink puss will be. Oh, that's right, Lucius, you did. That pink puss will be the first recipient of. So I have proclamations in my name. I have awards. I have the Icon Genovia Chase Juicy Award of Excellence presented to me by Dion. Even when I got deemed, when Darrell was on the mic, they tell me all the time that, oh, Toni, you are the Genovia of Atlanta. And that is a full-blown compliment because she is super, super dope. I'm sorry, y'all, it's a piece of hair in my face. Let me get it. Okay. She is super, super dope. So I have achieved all of these things. I have been walking since the beginning of this thing. I have been undefeated for at least the last 2 years in my category, which is Femme Queen Face. We didn't start recording officially until 2019. Shout out to Carter Life Entertainment, which is a channel that Sugar Bear or Navy he created, and he started to record balls in our scene. So if you want to go to his channel and you look at every face category that I walked, grand prize. And that's not being boastful. That is just letting you know that not only was I putting my work in off the floor, it's been on the floor too. Because see, when you become legend and icon and all of these things, it's not just about what you do on the floor, but it's about what you do off the floor as well. And I have said time and time again, and we'll get to this, the whole status thing. That'll be the second thing. And I have said time and time again that no, I don't want to be deemed. I don't want to be deemed. I want more time. I want to do more. I want to do more. And I have been that girl to say no, no, no. And you can ask icon Anthony Louboutin personally, because he calls me and we have those conversations. Period. So let's go back to July. So in July, right, we have been having balls, Kiki balls here in Atlanta for the last, I'll say few months. I don't know, a few months, year, whatever. And I don't know what's happening in the Kiki scene. I don't know if there's a shift in the Kiki scene. Let me also mention that the only father I've ever had, the person that brought me to my first house in 2009 was Icon Hall of Famer Luna Khan. Luna is a pioneer of the Kiki scene, was throwing Kiki functions in 1996 before it became developed as a scene in 2004 or 2002 or 2004, because I've seen both of those dates. So I come from the bloodline of somebody that has been doing the work, and anybody that has been in this community, they know who Luna Khan is, and they know the work that he has done with GMHC, the things he did in the 90s with MTV when we were talking about the AIDS epidemic, period. His show, The Luna Show, I didn't even realize it, but walking in his footsteps. So I just want to put that out there, right? So going back to July, we've been having balls, and these Kiki balls, right, have been, the tables are over, they're super expensive. The admission fee is $20+. We're starting in the wee hours of the morning. Houses are getting mad when these kids are leaving their houses and they're threatening to chop them. And I get all of this. We have alliance meetings every month, and we talk about all of these things as a con. Not a pro, but a con. We talk about these things. So after so many meetings where we talk about pros and cons, and we talk about, well, should we do this? Should we do that? I even said at one time, I think we should have a cap on the amount of new houses. And they gave, no, we shouldn't limit the houses. Let them be free. And And I said, okay, well, that's fine. I just wanted to put it out there. But the first minute a new house come, I don't want to hear nobody saying anything crazy. And I don't want to see nobody's lips or face turned up because a new house has now been formed. When I was saying we should put a cap on it. However, because it was like the last ball in July was coming up, and wasn't an attack on her ball by any means. It was just, okay, this is the last ball. We have a whole month of August that we have no balls, which I made sure as the chairwoman to do, so we get a break before the Old Navy ball, right? And so I put out a status saying, since y'all call me, this is Toni's scene and she's a dictator and control, I played into that narrative of what they like to call me. And so I put that on a post. And then I went down the list of things that, and this was specifically about balls. So from me as a promoter who's thrown 15+ balls to other promoters who throw balls in this scene. Again, remember that, promoter to promoters. And I'm letting them know we're not doing that no more. We're not charging $25. We're not starting in the wee hours of the morning. Your tables cannot be more than this amount. There will be a 2-chop rule. And then I reiterated things that we had already voted on as an alliance. So I put that out there, and at the end of my post, I said, this is, as a promoter, I have led by example. I have been a person that has not done what everybody else is doing, and I feel as though I'm empowered as the person that has probably thrown the most balls in this thing to say what I need to say and not come from a place of, I'm trying to stifle somebody, I'm trying to read somebody. It was never about that. For me, it was about, this is the last ball, and as we shift into these last 2 quarters of the year, we have to do something different. made the post. The scene went crazy. I'm not, you know, a stranger to the scene going crazy when Toni says, hey, Kiki, when Toni says something. I'm not a stranger. I've seen it time and time again when it came to other years, when it came to other things, when rules, guidelines, etc., etc. That is something that I've always had to deal with in this scene. Being a Black woman, period, then a trans experience is ballroom is very tough. And when you're the one at the head of the table, when you sit at the head of the table, nobody likes it. Nobody wants to respect you. Nobody wants to support you. Everybody has everything to say, but at the end of the day, y'all say it's my scene and I'm a dictator. Okay, got it. So I put that post out there. Everybody in that grandma has something to say. And my thing, and I did tell them that these terms were non-negotiable. And my thing was, as a promoter that has thrown X amount of balls, I feel as though I can say that and I can do that. Because at this point, we've talked about it time and time again, and I'm tired of coming to meetings having the same old conversations. I'm tired of it. It's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. Why are we steady repeating ourselves when all we have to do is put it on the agenda and we vote? Nobody wanted to do that. So as the chairwoman, I made that decision for the scene. So then when I make that decision, everybody is going crazy. People are calling me all kind of names. People are being disrespectful. And it was just like, okay, everybody sat and watched. Nobody said anything, right? You had a few people, and mind you, the people from New York, Trayshawn, Trish, or Perry Juicy, all of them seen the post and they were like, yes, work. Or, you know, whatever their terms were. And I'm like, but everybody from Atlanta had an issue. And so I'm just like, not everybody from Atlanta, but a lot of people from Atlanta had an issue. So I'm just like, what is the problem? Why are we so against starting a ball before 12 o'clock at night? Why is $100 been a max for a table so much? Why? And the table's not even worth that much. When you go to the balls, it's not even worth that much, first of all. Why is saying not charging over a certain amount, why is that not okay? Why is adding a two-chop rule to ensure that people who leave houses for whatever their reasons are not being shaded by their old houses on panels? So we do a two-chop rule. So if that house does chop, you still got to get to another chop. Because if that one house chop you because you leave, that's not fair to you. That's not fair to your talents. That's not fair that you just did everything you needed to do to make sure you're at this ball, to walk this ball, and now you get chopped because you left a house. That's not fair to nobody. But everybody was mad. So after going through that, and I was like, and I felt like nobody showed up for Toni. Nobody said anything. Nobody said, Toni, are you okay? Toni, we see that everything is going on. Nobody made a post and said, Toni, yeah, y'all might not like what she said, but y'all gonna be respectful. Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. And for me to be in this thing as long as I have, for me to be the person that has been leading this thing for as long as I have, for y'all to sit around and just think that's okay for people to be disrespectful, I don't mind that somebody disagrees. That's okay. But don't be disrespectful. And a lot of people are like, Toni, you're on P-Valley. Toni, you're on a Kiki show. You're doing other things. You're doing great things in your real life. You are absolutely right. I'm doing amazing things, and my personal life is A1. It's secured. The bag is being secured, period. But I also have came into a scene, and I have invested my time. I have invested my years, and I have invested much more into these kids for me not to care, for me not to invest. So all of these things that I'm doing now and that I've been afforded with opportunities, that's amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm going to be present, and I'm going to speak my piece about a scene that I helped build at the end of the day. Because if y'all want Toni to pay and y'all want Toni to be quiet, don't say nothing, pay it. Well, who's going to speak up for Toni? Who's going to say something on Toni's behalf? Who? So now that's why I have to create a whole live myself, and I have to say and speak my piece, so I'm able to move on with ballroom, and I'm able to move on with even this scene, period. So that's what happened in July. It was all over post. The people was mad. I ended up resigning from the alliance, so I'm no longer the chairwoman of the alliance, and I said, you know what? I'm going to travel to other cities, experience other people, judge other balls, whether it be I've judged in New York and Philly and the Carolinas and all of these great things, whatever. I appreciate all of those opportunities, period. But now I feel like, okay, I don't have this weight on my shoulders no more. So now that I don't have the weight on my shoulders, I don't have to worry like I used to. And sometimes I revert back to it and be like, oh, is it okay? Like, no. But when something has been your baby for so long and you have nurtured it and you have taken care of it and you have made sure that it's thriving and you've helped bring it to what it is today, you're going to care. You invested in it. All of these amazing things that are happening in my real life, those are amazing things, and I worked for them, period. And they're going to keep being amazing. I'm going to keep working. But this is also a space that I have invested my time in, period. So that's what happened in July. Moving along from July. So I had a ball in St. Louis on August 21st. And shout out to Icon, Maven or Logic 007. And he wanted to honor me with an award, a Kiki Legends. Hold on, let me make sure I'm reading it correctly. He wanted to honor me with a Kiki Legend Award to legendary Toni Bryce. Now let's keep in mind, right? Toni Bryce is a brand that I've built and I've been building since 2016. My brand as Toni Bryce extends beyond ballroom. So if somebody is deeming me to be this legendary community leader because of the things Toni Bryce has done, ballroom you can't put your lips on anything, period. So when that happened, a lot of people had something to say. Oh, she's legend. We didn't deem her legend yet. So da-da-da and da-da-da. So let's be very clear. And this is before I was deemed legend. But let's be very clear. When you can go to different scenes and they're acknowledging you as a legend, even though you have not officially gotten your roses, that speaks volumes. Period. People are in Atlanta Kiki scene. They've seen the things that I've done over the years. A lot of these kids have even thought I was an icon in the scene. And that's not even to be funny. They have legit thought I was an icon. Some people have even made comments and had to erase the comment because they didn't feel like they wanted to start any issues. People have thought because of the things I have done for this thing. And I'm only speaking on me, not saying I am the only one who has done things for Atlanta. But I can only speak from my experience because I'm talking about me and myself and me today. Today I'm being selfish and talking about Toni because I deserve to today. So when other things can see you and see the work and they want to acknowledge you as legend, whether you had officially gotten your roses or not, I'm going to receive all of my roses, period. I'm going to receive all of them. I'm never... Hello, Genovia, what you say? Well, you are iconing. And that's on period, because there's no way you can look at Atlanta and see what's happening and not see the legacy and the mark that Toni has done. And that's on period. So now let's move forward to September 3rd at the Old Navy Ball. So I, am being deemed by the Icon and Hall of Famers and the Blueprint, Icon Nico Old Navy, and then also Icon Darrell Louboutin. They have decided to deem me, right? And Darrell is giving his speech. He is giving, Toni, for the last, few years I've moved here, nobody has beat you. You have been this person and that person. Literally giving a girl her flowers because I deserve them. You are the Genovia of the Atlanta Kiki scene, which that alone to me is, girl, all y'all can kiss my ass. After saying some shit like that, y'all can kiss my ass. If I'm being honest. Y'all can really kiss my ass. However, I'm choosing not to say kiss my ass. But I'm getting my roses, and Darrell is Darrell. And I keep telling these people, Darrell might be a Louboutin. I cannot control what comes out of Darrell's mouth. Nobody can control what comes out of Darrell's mouth. If you know Darrell, and you know what Darrell gives, especially when he's deeming somebody. So he read on the mic, and I guess, people felt, a ways about it. And then there was a live, that Rachel was going live, and there was a person in our scene that was on the live like, why she didn't, she only walked 5 times. She only walked 5 times, and then Rachel was like, what, you didn't put in your vote? And the person said, they didn't ask me. They didn't ask me. First of all, 5 times, okay. Work. I got deemed off of 5 times. I am fab. I got deemed walking 5 times. And I bet I had won those 5 times too, if I got deemed off after 5 times. Right. Darrell reads, but he speaks the truth. I might have got walked 5 times and I got deemed. So I'm fab. I am fab. My God, I am fab. Hey, India. And so literally in the moment while I'm being deemed, this is happening. So my founder, Alex, he records from an angle and I'm seeing a conversation happening. And I'm like, what is this conversation? Like, what's going on? So I go to Rachel Live and I see and I hear the conversation. And I'm just like, I've never had an issue with this person. And if I've ever had a comment or whatever, this person has known because we have talked about it. This person has my number. We've never had an issue, period. And anytime we've had something to say, we've talked about it. So I'm like, why are you on somebody else's live saying what you're saying? And then I take the live, I screen record it, and I post it on my social media stories. Like, y'all see the weird shit I go through in St. Louis? Y'all see the weird shit I go through, in St. Louis. And Atlanta, y'all see what I go through in Atlanta. Like, and so I guess, they always screen recording stuff and sending them to people, child. And so I guess somebody sent it to her. And then, that person goes into the Atlanta Kiki scene and makes a 27-minute live talking about me and whatever else, I don't know. But I know I was a focal point of that live. And all of that is okay. Then there was another boy that wanted to make a status and was saying, essentially mad at Darrell because Darrell was reading, but then also saying I groomed him and nurtured him. I was somebody he looked up to, and blase, and he don't have a problem with me being deemed. First of all, let's be A1. If you've never beat me, if you don't have an of the year in my category, if you've never traveled anywhere beyond your surrounding city, whether that's to walk, support, judge, or whatever, when you don't have presence in your category, when you can't go to state and they give you an LSS and say, this is Atlanta, da-da-da, baby, you can't talk about anything that I've done. You can't say anything to me. You cannot say anything to me. Go be a statement in your category. Beat me. Go get an of the year first. And then come talk about me. Go be deemed first before you try to question anything over here. Because nobody could ever question anything that Toni Bryce has been given because she's worked for it. And that's something I'm never going to argue with nobody about because I worked for it. And I wasn't just your typical, and I shouldn't say typical because I don't want to sound like I'm reading anybody in that way either, but I'm not just a girl that walks my category and go home. I'm a mother. I was a chairwoman. I'm somebody that has added structure and organization to this scene, somebody that has been keeping this scene going since 2017. Y'all are able to come to Atlanta. Y'all are able to throw balls in Atlanta. Y'all are able to get of the years in Atlanta because of people like me. Let's be clear. Ike and Dion, they rebirthed it and they brought it back. And then Blue, he threw the first ball. I always want to give them their roses. After that, we had to have structure. We had to build it. I was one of those people. And the only girl, not only girl, because Kimbella as well, but one of the only girls that has put in the work for this thing. Y'all can't, before 2017, y'all can come to Atlanta for a Kiki ball. Y'all can throw a ball in Kiki ball in Atlanta. But because of my girls and my people, when we came in, and the small few of us, because it's only a small few of us, that did the work to make sure that Atlanta is still here, it's still here. So you can't say anything to me. And then there was this one person from New York. Why you always got something to say, you need to mind your New York business before I go into New York's group and light you up. And I've already told the founder of your house. So mind your New York business, sir. And I'm trying not to use nobody's name because I ain't trying to give nobody no platform on my platform. Period. But mind your New York City business because all it takes for me is to go in the New York group and search your name and to see how much you have not done for your city. Go in my group and search my name. Go in the Atlanta Kiki group and search my name and see all of the things I have done for my scene. So don't say anything to me, period. Don't say anything to me. And I'm really trying to hold my tongue because I can go beyond that, but I'm not here to read. I'm not here to be messy. I'm here to provide facts and receipts at the end of the day. And again, these people that have had something to say, I'm not mad at the person that said what they said on the live and then created another live. I'm not mad at the child that made the post. I'm not mad at the child from New York that always got something to say, that come down here and think he has one of the year. First of all, the first year of the years was crazy. It was in shambles, but anywho, yeah, I'm not mad at none of them. But what I don't like is everybody that I have been a mother to, a teacher to, I have answered my phone, I have done things for, and I would never blast these things to say, I did this for you, and because I'm not that kind of person. If I did it from here, and that's just that on that. But I have been all of these things to all of these people, and y'all have watched and these people disrespect me. Y'all have said nothing. Y'all have said nothing. Y'all sit and y'all watch. Y'all seen the posts that were made. Y'all seen the lives. And y'all said nothing. And what I don't like and what I can't respect is if I'm fighting a public battle and you want to come in my DM and give me all the encouragement. No. We're not doing that. Because what I'm fighting is not private. It's public. So if you want to support me and you want to, stand with me publicly. Stand with me publicly. Don't just come to my DMs and say, oh, Toni, you're right and you're this and da-da-da. No, that's fine. Because I know. Because I wouldn't have said it if I didn't. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't. I'm not crazy. I'm not a dictator. But I am about bettering a scene. Period. I am about focusing on the next generation. Because I've been in ballroom since 2009. My first house was the House of Legacy International. My first latex ball was in 2010. I've been to Esquilitas at a Vogue Nights in 2011. A lot of these people, y'all haven't even traveled beyond Atlanta. Y'all haven't went anywhere for any reason. So y'all cannot say anything to me. So for me, it's about focusing on the next generation of the Kiki scene. And all of these Kiki children that are now going to ballroom or mainstream ballroom, y'all are welcome. Because if they were not birthed from me, then I was a part of their journey impactfully at some point. So my thing is stop being disrespectful. If you don't see it, which none of y'all cannot ever see it, but if you don't see it, you don't like it, whatever. When Snooki came down in June to a ball, Snooki gave me my absolute roses. I was gagging because I was like, wait, what? Am I being deemed? What's happening in this moment? But as Chazzy called me out, Chazzy gave me all of my roses, which he always does. I appreciate Chazzy so much. That is literally my brother. That is literally one genuine friendship that I know. Not saying that's the only one, but there's at least one genuine friendship that I know I have out of this thing. But he was giving me my LSS. And then I come out, and I guess everybody was too hot, so they wanted to fan or whatever. And Snooki was like, wait, pump the beat. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if y'all don't like it, y'all don't see it, da-da-da. But Toni is somebody that, Toni is somebody that is leading the scene in the right direction, and da-da-da. And when she get deemed, she definitely has my yes, and da-da-da. And I appreciated Snooki for that. Because not only does my scene see it, people outside of my scene can see it too. The work goes beyond, no, Sugar Bear, don't do that. I brought up Chazzy specifically. I already gave you your roses earlier. You weren't here. So Snooki gave me my roses in that moment. And then when I got deemed, Snooki was here for that moment. So that was dope. You hear him in the video on the mic. And so I'm just like, it's so crazy how also everybody in this thing has given Toni her roses. Oh yeah, Toni, you're a legend. You know, you just already blessed. You should have got deemed in 2020 when we got deemed and da-da-da. We was even on a Zoom in July to discuss creating an SOP for Atlanta because there has been 2 scenes that reached out to me about our governing, like how we govern our scene to send to them. And I didn't have it because we never officially created it. I just have visuals of things. So anything y'all see posted in that Kiki scene group that talks about the rules and regulations and guidelines, I created that on my Canva that I pay for. You're welcome. But we were on a Zoom, And it was me and the rest of the legends in the scene. And I'm like, y'all legend, the non-legend here, being modest or whatever. No, you legend, you legend. No, you legend. Great. This was July. Then we get to September. Now it's a different story. Now y'all don't want to support it. Now y'all got something to say. Now y'all want to bring up, now it's being said she only walked 5 times. Now y'all making posts, talking about legends this, legends that. Now y'all talking about name moments and wins, but the people that's making these statuses ain't named their moments or wins. Because I can name mine. I have a list in my phone of everything I've ever done. So at any moment, I can hit copy and paste. And you'll have all that you need to know. And that's just on period. So it's crazy. As I started this live off by Icon Snooki Juicy, his quote on Facebook the other day, some of y'all loyalty change when y'all mad. Y'all are mad at Toni Bryce, mother Louboutin. Louboutin, not Louis Vuitton. Louboutin. Y'all are mad. And it's okay. Be mad. It is okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm the mother. Have been from day one. Ain't never went nowhere. I'm stamped in my category. I'm stamped in the legacy that I have provided for the Atlanta Kiki scene, and nobody can ever take that away or question it. I am legend with a capital L, as Dolly has just said, and nobody can ever question that either. And that's on period. So I don't know what else to say to y'all, but like I said, I needed to do such a live so I can provide so I can speak my piece to the situation, because I'm tired of people thinking it's okay to be disrespectful. It's not okay to be disrespectful. And if anybody has ever told me to pay it, okay, fine. So what you gonna say on my behalf since I gotta pay it? What you gonna say? I'm waiting. What you gonna say? Since you want me to pay it so bad, what you gonna say on my behalf? Are you gonna speak up for me? Or do I still, as a black woman in this thing, have to fight every battle on my own? What you gonna say? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. You're not gonna say nothing. Because y'all don't like to say nothing to y'all girlfriends. Y'all don't like to tell y'all girlfriends that they're wrong. Y'all don't like to tell y'all girlfriends, listen, you shouldn't have said that, or you shouldn't have done this. My own house member, Christian Louboutin, he is new to this scene. And he made a long post in the Atlanta Kiki scene. And I appreciated Christian for that. On my behalf, I appreciated him for that. Because nobody else did. Nobody. Not even the ones that deemed me. Nobody else did. Said nothing. It was mute. It was silent. And I'm still disappointed in them. But it was silent. But that baby that just got in this thing in January, who has been eating it, by the way, should not have had to make a post on my behalf. When I've been here years before him. When there has been people that was here years before him with me. He should not have to do that. And we live in a scene now to where if you say something, oh child, they gonna chop you. They gonna vote over you. It gets to be petty. It gets to be political. And I had even in July, after that moment, made a sacrifice that I was leaving the scene, period. I was going to stay the mother if Alex never was going to allow me to. And I would just, be a mother behind the scenes. But I wasn't going to patronize that scene because of the disrespect. I wasn't going to do it. But you know what? I couldn't even do that because as a mother, I still have to show up. There's still people depending on me to be present. So even with all of the foolishness that I have to endure, I still have to show up. But who's showing up for us? Who's showing up for me? Who? The fact that I'm even making this live, I shouldn't even have to. But actually, let me also shout out Chocolate. I don't know if Chocolate is still on here. My East Coast father, legendary Chocolate Louboutin, because Chocolate was in that group going in. And I seen it before I had to block the people and I couldn't see anything else. Thank you, Chocolate. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, anybody. Paul, Joanne, anybody that said something. Thank you. I shouldn't have to, and I didn't ask these people, but I shouldn't have to ask nobody to fight with me. Because ain't nobody got to fight for me. because I can do that. However, fight with me. But we live in a girlfriend world where if it's my girlfriend that's doing the things of the things, oh, I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna be Stevie Wonder. I'm gonna be Stevie Wonder. But when it came down to Toni Bryce, whoo, baby, it gave silent. It gave mute. It gave, what's them parties where, a silent party where everything is, the music is through the headphones, but it's not out throughout the space. It gave one of those. It gave one of those. And like I said, I don't hate or have any hard feelings for anybody that has had something to say about Toni. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, I am who I am. So there's no reason for me to be mad at nobody. But what I can't do is the disrespect. And because people have been disrespectful to me when I haven't been disrespectful to them. Because I could have sat up here and I could have read for blood. I could have pulled more receipts. I didn't do that. I talked about me and I talked about my experience and what I have brought to this thing. And that's just that on that. So I'm choosing not to even still go the extra mile. Will there be more posts after this live? Will there be another live after this? I don't know. And I don't care. I really don't care. I just really don't care. Because I've said my piece and now I can move on as much as I can in this space. And I feel like even with my birthday ball in October, that just might be my last contribution to the scene. And everything else that I've done, great. The legacy will live on. Great. My stamp is herstory. But what's not about to keep happening is the disrespect. We're not about to do that. We're not about to do that. So everything that's watching this live, y'all have to be very careful when y'all have people in leadership. Y'all have to make sure that those people are supported. Y'all have to make sure those people are supported. Because when they're not supported, things like this happen. They leave. All of the great things that they've implemented in programs have now all of a sudden in some form or fashion seem to be abandoned. Because now that stuff even bled over into my work life to where I decided to leave my job. I mean, I'm an actress at the end of the day and I'm filming a show. So the bag is secured and I can't say, yet. I will soon whenever the, I don't know, deadline article comes out if it does. But yeah, I'm going to always be good. I'm going to always be good, period. But I had to even leave my non-for-profit job because I was just tired of being surrounded around the craziness. Actually, it's the 22nd, India and Travi, because I had to push the day back. This is like wedding season in Atlanta, so venues on Saturdays is very hard to secure. And I canceled this ball before because I was over it, wasn't doing anything else. And then the scene was like, Toni, have your ball. And I was like, okay, child, we'll. Genovia, they know the story. It's unfortunate. I'm very proud of you. #babish. Thank you so much, Genovia. And let me just say, to have Dion, to have Darrell both, make that comment to say, Toni, you are the Genovia of Atlanta. It's so, I really hold that dear because I know the respect that Genovia has. I know how the scene up there, I know how they reverence her. I know how they look at her, the respect they have for her. And I appreciate that so much because I'm just like, that's dope. Like, that's Genovia. Hello. And the things that she does for the community, how she gives back and even hits the floor whenever she decides to hit the floor. So even though she's been a part of, the house I'm a part of now, I love that and I respect that so much. And when you, Genovia, when you decided to share my picture and in a way for me, because can't nobody validate who I am or anything, but for me, that was, for me, a validation to that I deserved my roses. And you've seen what you've seen and you respect what you've seen, and I'm just beyond grateful. And I needed that day because y'all don't understand how this stuff can really eat you up. Not eat you up, but eat at you. There we go. How it can eat at you, and you wanna lash out. You wanna read back rather. You want, because I didn't start none of this, but okay. Maybe the one in July, but whatever. You know, you want to read, you want to not go crazy, but you want to just lash out the way that other people are lashing out. But even in those moments, you have to think, okay, Toni, you're still a mother at the end of the day. You're representing a brand. And you have to still choose wisely the way you do certain things. And so that's why I've waited this whole time, because I've made statuses and long ones and I would delete it. And I've had conversations, you know, in my friend groups about it. But at this point, like I was telling Chazzy and I was telling my friend Ebony, I was like, I'm tired of talking. I was even telling Alex, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it, because as I have said, nobody can ever say or question anything that Toni has done. The proof is in the pudding. They can never question anything. She's not a popcorn, microwavable. She's none of that. She is what she is because she deserved it. Period. And nobody can question it. Nobody. But what I cannot do is the disrespect. And so now it's like when I have to go to these balls, like we got to go to, not gotta, but I'm going to the ball Friday, the first Atlanta's People's Choice Awards thrown by legendary Trayshawn Marciano and the People's Choice Committee. I have to be there, and I have to, you know, I have a whole proclamation in my name that Trayshawn gave me. The Toni Bryce Award for Community Advancement and social equality. And there's a recipient of that award. So I definitely, and I might even, you know, receive some People's Choice Awards. Thank God we voted before all of this happened, because God knows the votes would have changed. My God. But now I got to go be around these people that I just, in some form of fashion, not that I don't like, but I'm just like, oh, stay away from me. I'm good. I'm okay. I don't want to have no conversation. I don't want no hugs. I'm okay. Now I got to go be around these people, and do I give that energy or do I still give them a hug? I don't know. Because like I wrote on my status, the most hurtful thing throughout this whole process has been not the people making the posts and making the statuses, but in the comments, but the people that have sat back and watched and said nothing. The people that have sat back and watched and said absolutely nothing. That is the most hurtful thing. Listen, I not only hear you, I feel you. Your work can never be unwritten. In peace, knowing that. Oh, okay, knowing that. Thank you so much. Zaparis. Genovia. They both know me very well. I'm honored to know they would even create an award and me, laugh out loud, and assure that it has gotten someone of such integrity and compassion for the scene. I've been exactly where you are at before, maybe not as vocal, but in the same position. The icon symbol caused a frenzy, but when you are one of one, it's more complex for you. We can carry it though. My God, I gotta heart that one. Can I heart it? There we go. And that's the thing too. In the end, it's all love, but it is painful. Exactly. And that's why I was saying to Genovia that, yeah, I might be on P-Valley. Yeah, I might be, you know, on the Kiki show, which was controversial to child, but it's all good. And all of these amazing things and all of these platforms and models for prep and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But before even all of that, I was still at parallel investing my time and my energy into this space. And I can't, my wins and my gratitude and my happiness and my success as Toni Bryce, I think people expect for me to make that sit on top of this and it goes away. And it doesn't, because I've invested my years and my time here too. We had to lay the foundation for a whole thing. We had to build a whole thing. And it's a small few of us that did it. It wasn't a whole group of people. It was a small few of us that have been doing it since the rebirth of the scene. So my success and everything I'm doing as Toni Bryce, it's two different lanes. I don't ever want to intersect them because it's two different lanes. I want to be able to compartmentalize. Yes, as Toni Bryce, da-da-da. But then over here, I can still deal with what I'm dealing with and speak on it and feel however I want to feel about it because I know, the investment that I've put in. Period. Hey, Zodiac. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just speaking about my experience with the Atlanta Kiki scene and how, I have become public enemy number one, how people have turned their backs on me, how people have become silent when people are feeling like it's okay to be disrespectful. Just speaking about all of those things. Speaking about how somebody act like as if they can't see my status being legend when they've never beat me. They don't have of the year in their category. The name is not known. There's no presence. And I will also say I won't ever be walking in this scene again. I just won't. If I want to walk in the Kiki scene, I'll go somewhere else. Won't be walking here. Won't be putting my time and energy here. Won't give any of y'all the opportunity to be on a panel and think y'all going to try me because y'all are mad. You won't try me because you're mad. Hey, Chazzy. Let me see. Scoops. You never forget where you come from and what helps with the money and fame is fab, but if you forget where you come from, it is really worth it. You are highly appreciated. If you ain't spoke about or hated on, you definitely ain't doing something right. Don't lose yourself. You're nobody's enemy. You help with. Yeah, I appreciate that because, and I say public enemy number one because when there's nobody, when you're the only person being talked about, it might not be the whole scene talking, but the whole scene is watching and staying very silent. That is not okay. That's late to me. And mind you, baby, the things me and Chazzy have even been through with other scenes and them, speaking down on Atlanta or saying this and that about Atlanta. But as I mentioned earlier, y'all can come here, y'all can throw balls here, y'all can get other years here because of people like us. And that's just facts. So that's all that I wanted to share today. This was my episode 2 of Candid Talks with Toni Bryce, surviving the Atlanta Kiki scene, the Toni Bryce story. I did do that title because not that this conversation was a key, but we always talking about surviving something. So I just wanted to put a spin on that. And then I will be doing more of these, talking about my experiences with different things as well. We'll probably be doing the next one in October. That one would be about sexual assault and my experience with that as a fully grown person, not as a child, because I never experienced that as a child, but as a fully grown person. So that'll be the next one that I talk about. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep it going. Like I said earlier, I don't do trans table talk anymore because I don't work with NASM anymore. However, again, that legacy, Genie Lounge legacy, that will still live on. Whoever, takes over after me, kudos. I'm proud of you. You're loved, Mother Toni. Your work never goes unnoticed. And let me say this too, to the house of Christian Louboutin. Again, Christian Louboutin, not Louis Vuitton, Christian Louboutin. Beyond Atlanta specifically, I really appreciate y'all because y'all have been very supportive in y'all words, even in y'all bodies in support and being here in Atlanta and attending events that I've thrown. And I'm just really appreciative of that. And then even being able to come into a house, a lot of times people say, oh, when season house, you can't give nothing to a season house. You can't give nothing to a season house. And that's just not true because I feel like my time and even being in my house has been very purposeful. And I feel like I've been able to offer my house something that maybe wasn't there before. If it has, maybe it has now been revived because I'm in this space. So I really want to say to my house, I appreciate y'all. And while I do feel like there was a few times where my chapter specifically didn't speak up for me, didn't say anything on my behalf, I do feel like my house beyond this space here was there and could say something. And as much as they could, because they don't know this thing. They don't know everything that goes on. So like I told Alex, at one point it was like, I told him it's not that I would ever leave Louboutin because it's not my house. But I did feel like, were some opportunities for my chapter to be supportive and speak up, and it just didn't happen. Besides TJ making a post and Jawan making a couple comments, it just didn't happen. And I don't deserve that. Not the mother I am. I don't deserve that. But I love everybody, and we're gonna move forward. But I just hope moving forward, there's a difference in the way we move as a unit, as a chapter, as a, not a house, but as a chapter. After this, fingers are crossed. Let me see. Charlie said, "Baby, look, I had these conversations with people, and I hope they all understand things now, because it's draining." Yeah, it's very draining. It's definitely very draining, and that's why. Well, I got deemed September 3rd, and I'm just not making a live on the 21st, because I had, and Chazzy, shout out to Chazzy, because the other night when me and Chazzy had a conversation, that was the first time, y'all, I could literally have a conversation with somebody and not scream and yell out of anger, because I was so angry. Y'all don't understand where I come from. And the anger and the things I have been through, because we all have, as marginalized people, as LGBT people, as Black people, we all have been through some stuff. But it's our job to make sure we are doing the work to heal that inner child in us that is still suffering from the things that we've been through at the end of the day. And so I try to make a conscious decision every time something has happened to do it better than I would have done years ago. And so me going live and me having this conversation is me doing it differently and me doing it better than I would have done before. And I feel like, too, I have to speak up on my behalf, because if nobody else will, I have to. You know that hashtag protect Black women? Sometimes it's a real thing, but sometimes it is a full-blown myth, and we are not protected. And that's just that on that. That's just the truth. That is just the truth. I love Atlanta. I will always love Atlanta for, being a part of my ballroom story, being a part of my ballroom history. When I started walking face and mainstream, I knew after the first time I walked, I was not ready for that level of a category within that scene. So the Kiki scene for me was, because I had been walking realness before that, and I was like, okay, I won a few times and whatever. Realness was easy. Like, real, baby, hello, you wake up, you real. Like, yeah, it is what it is. But face is a completely different, that's a completely different avenue. And after walking in mainstream my first time, I was like, ooh, yeah, we're going to have to work on that. And so the Kiki scene was my space to do that. And when you think about Femme Queen Face in Atlanta, when you think about face in Atlanta, you cannot think about me. When you think about Femme Queen Face in Atlanta, you cannot, in the Kiki scene, you cannot not think about me. When you think about somebody that has given back to my category, that has been around to help teach or help critique or help people sell, have thrown events, beat that mug, to help people about skincare, to show people by example how to sell when you throw balls, and offering, the first of the first category types. When you talk about, I send sponsorships to other cities for my category. You can't talk to me about anything about my category when you've done nothing for yours. You've done nothing for yours. You cannot talk to me about my category. And that's just that on that. You can't. And like I said earlier, Sugar Bear started recording in this thing in Mother's Day 2019. Go back and look at every video if you want to. And in the videos you see me walking, you will see the work that I have put in. And that's just from 2019. Mind you, again, it started in 17. So that a yes. So is that a yes? Is what a yes, Sugar Bear? What you saying? Let me go back and read some of these comments, y'all, because I was definitely not paying attention. I seen Aurora. Aurora is another person that walks face here, and I always root her on. And we've battled, and I remember even in Aurora battle, I looked at her in the battle. Hey, Anaya, I was like, work, Aurora, because that's my energy. Like, I want to see y'all do amazing. I've been here for years. Like, I just, not necessarily the Kiki scene, but I just been in ballroom for years. Like, I don't look at the Kiki scene as being for me anymore. So for me, it's always about the next generation, period. Okay. Hey, Marzi, I love you back. Don't come for mine, period, Lady T. Can you deem me now? Wow. No. I'm not an icon. Although, you know, as the iconic Genovia said, I am iconing. Oh, I'm going to make that a status. Genovia, see, you give me reasons for them to continue to be mad at me. But do anybody have any questions before I end it? Because I think I've said my piece. I think I've gotten everything that I needed to say out. Like I said, this wasn't about being messy. This wasn't about starting up anything. This was just about me speaking my piece on the situation. Didn't even bring up nobody's name. Who said what, who posted what. Didn't say nobody's name because it ain't about that. It's about my experience and my story from my perspective. And that's just that on that. Not here for all of that. I'm not going back and forth with nobody reading. That's pointless. We're not doing that. Does anybody have any questions before I cut this off though? Why do they think we're Louis Vuitton when we spell out right? Loubutin. Loubutin. I don't know, Dolly. And mind you, Dolly, back in St. Louis when I was growing up, there was a family. It wasn't a house, but it was a family called the Vuittons, the Louis Vuittons. And those were the people like middle school leading to high school. Those are the people that I was around. Because mind you, before I joined Ballroom in '09, I had been new about it. I was still around it. I just hadn't officially joined. And so I always key about it because I'm like, I'm a Louboutin now, but I was hanging around the Vuittons back then, even though I never officially became, because baby, the Vuittons, all they were bad. All they did was fight, period. There's a couple of times I had to rush my cousin up out of a situation because he done some stuff to the people. But yeah, that was St. Louis back then or whatever. So I don't know why they say it wrong. And even Paris, I don't know if Paris is watching. Paris is the main one that be like, Mother, Toni, Louis Vuitton. I'd be like, Paris, what are you saying? That is not my house name. My house name is Louboutin. Louboutin. I don't know the official European accent of how they say it. I'll have to look it up, but Louboutin. That's what the people need to know. Child, somebody said something about me being icon last night. I was stressed. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Chazzy, I was telling him earlier, like, there has been people from our scene and other scenes, and these are babies, so they haven't been journeying with me since we, did it, the rebirth and stuff, so they would know what my status is or what my status is not. And they're saying icon, and I'm just like, well, I'm not, I'm honored, but I'm not an icon. Like, that hasn't been a status I've been given. But I'm honored. And then you have people saying shady stuff, well, I'm the only icon, and I'm the only... Okay. I'm gonna start asking for resumes. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I feel like that comment reminded me of something that I was gonna say. I can't remember. So yeah, I don't know why, Dolly, why they say Louis Vuitton when it's Louboutin, but Louboutin. Mind you, there's two spelling chants because the DMV chapter does another spelling chant with it. They do it at a different rhythm though. Period. But yeah, so I guess that's it. I don't see no more questions. Again, my ball and Chazzy, I'm going to have Nasty submitted to the Alliance group because I don't want no issues with the people. Is now going to be October 22nd, that Friday, because the 23rd is a Saturday, and I couldn't get my venue space because the venue that I had from last year, I'm booking again because I actually really like that space. Multiple bathrooms, a big changing room. I get my own little private VIP area, well, the Louboutins rather. So yeah, I like that space. I'm going to book that one. So I'm going to have her send it to the Alliance group because it is still 30 days in advance because today's the 21st. And yeah, that's just going to be that one there. Well, Chaz, I don't want no problems, child, because I don't mind. No, I do not mind. But yeah, y'all, this was episode 2 of Candid Talks with Toni Bryce, surviving the Atlanta Kiki scene. The Toni Bryce story. I want to thank everybody for watching. I really do thank you, all of my Louboutin family, all of my Atlanta Kiki scene family, emphasis on family, for watching. I want to specifically shout out the iconic one, Genovia Chase Juicy, for being on here and just listening to the conversation and just being super affirming, because at the end of the day, a lot of people can say what they want to say, but it's only a certain small few that have impact with their words, and what they say matters, and it means something. And if I'm going to let anybody's words matter and mean something, she's going to be one of them. And that's just that on that. So thank y'all so much for watching. This has been another Candid Talks with Toni Bryce, and there will be more. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.